The grill smoke curled lazy into the golden hour, carrying the scent of mesquite and birthday magic across 1427 Maple Drive. Jamal Washington, 40 today, wore the grin of a man who had everything. Keisha's laughter, Aaliyah's sparkler twirls, Malik's relentless trash talk at the cornhole boards. The backyard pulsed with cousins, aunts, uncles, and 3 generations of Washington love. A triple-layer red velvet masterpiece waited under a glass dome, candles already sweating. Someone cued before I let go. And the patio became a dance floor. Then the music died. Not faded, died. A hush fell so complete that the ice melting in the cooler sounded like gunfire. Picture this. A black family's birthday blowout. Kids in Sunday best, grannies fanning themselves with paper plates, burgers sizzling. And suddenly 2 cops crashed the gate, guns half-drawn, yelling, "Party's over, thug." One nosy neighbor dialed 911 over suspicious laughter. But when the dad steps forward in full Sergeant Blues, badge flashing like Judgment Day, the whole block freezes. Who's the real suspect now? If you love your mom and dad, smash that subscribe button and show some love, because the story's about to flip everything you thought you knew. Jamal had been inside grabbing extra propane when the call came in. He heard the commotion through the screen door, set the tank down, and reached instinctively for the duty belt that wasn't there. Instead, he unhooked his off-duty polo from the laundry room chair, slid it on, and clipped his badge to the collar out of habit. The metal felt cool against his chest as he stepped onto the patio. The scene hit him like a flashbang. Officer Ryan, rookie, buzzcut, trigger-happy, had his hand on Jamal's own cousin Darius, twisting the younger man's arm. Officer Lopez, veteran, eyes wide, was trying to wave Ryan off. Keisha stood between the officers and Aaliyah, shielding her daughter with her body. Malik's cornhole bag lay forgotten in the grass. The boy's fists shook at his sides. "Hands where I can see them," Ryan shouted, voice cracking with adrenaline. Darius, 22 and home from Morehouse on break, complied, palms up. The word thug still hung in the air, ugly and radioactive. Jamal's voice cut through the chaos like a blade. "Officers, stand down." He stepped fully into the light, badge catching the sun. Ryan's head snapped around. Lopez's jaw dropped. For 3 heartbeats, nobody moved. Then Ryan's grip loosened on Darius, and the rookie's face cycled through confusion, recognition, horror. "Sergeant Washington?" Lopez whispered, as if saying the name too loud might make the moment explode. Jamal kept his hands visible, palms open. "That's my cousin you're manhandling. This is my house. My daughter's 6th birthday. Lower your weapons." Ryan's service pistol was still in the holster, but his hand hovered like it had forgotten the way home. Lopez exhaled, a sound halfway between relief and prayer. Keisha's eyes found Jamal's across the patio. She mouthed, "You okay?" He gave the smallest nod. Then he did something no one expected. He walked straight to Ryan, close enough to smell the rookie's nervous sweat, and said, "You called me a thug in front of my children. Finish it. Cuff me." The backyard inhaled as one organism. Keisha's mother, Gloria, pressed a manicured hand to her lips. Jamal's father, retired Principal Washington, rose slowly from his lawn chair, cane tapping the pavers like a gavel. Tanya, live-streaming from the dessert table, zoomed in so hard the chat scrolled like ticker tape. Ryan's cuffs came out with a metallic whisper. The click around Jamal's wrists sounded louder than any gunshot. Aaliyah's sob cracked the evening wide open. Malik took one involuntary step forward before Keisha caught him. "Let him do this, baby," she whispered, tears tracking her cheeks. "Your father knows what he's doing." Jamal turned to the crowd, wrists bound behind him, voice steady as a heartbeat. "This is what profiling feels like. My badge doesn't live on my chest today. It lives in here." He nodded toward Aaliyah, toward Malik, toward every wide-eyed cousin. "Remember this moment. Never forget who tried to steal your joy." Karen Miller watched from her hydrangea hedge, phone still clutched like a lifeline. She had expected a quick dispersal, maybe a noise citation. She had not expected Sergeant Washington, whom she'd once asked to check her mail while she was in Boca, to be the man in cuffs. Her stomach folded in on itself. Captain Elena Rodriguez arrived code 3, lights painting the siding red-blue-red. She took in the scene. Cuffed sergeant, shattered phone, viral live stream, and her face went the color of storm clouds. Uncuff him. Now. Ryan fumbled the key twice. Rodriguez faced the family, hat in hand. Sergeant Washington, the department apologizes. This stops here. She turned to Ryan. You're on administrative leave effective immediately. Lopez, escort him to the precinct. Jamal rubbed circulation back into his wrists. The welts were already rising, but the deeper bruise was in his children's eyes. He could have let it end there, accepted the apology, sent the cavalry home, salvaged the cake. Instead, he looked at Ryan's ashen face and said, "Stay. Meet the people you almost arrested." Keisha's gasp was audible. Gloria clutched her pearls so hard one snapped. Even Rodriguez blinked. Lopez, swallowing centuries of pride, nodded. Ryan looked like he'd rather swallow glass. Jamal gestured to the dessert table. "Red velvet's my mother's recipe. Try it." The next hour unfolded like a fever dream scripted by angels and devils in equal measure. Lopez accepted a slice, ate it standing, eyes flicking to the kids. Ryan hovered near the gate until Malik marched over, handed him a Capri Sun, and said, "You made my sister cry. Juice helps." Ryan took it with trembling fingers. Tanya's live stream hit 250,000 viewers. #CheckMyIdentity trended above the World Series. News vans triple-parked on Maple Drive. Reporters shouted questions over the fence. Jamal, still in his off-duty polo, badge gleaming, addressed the cameras. "This isn't about one bad apple. It's about every family who just wants to grill burgers without becoming a suspect. It's about my daughter learning that her sparkle can be labeled suspicious. Change starts in backyards like this one." Night draped the patio in string-light constellations. The party, against every odd, resurrected. Someone restarted the music. Low, respectful. Lopez's wife dropped off their 2 kids. The youngest braided Aaliyah's hair with purple ribbons. Ryan, under Rodriguez's watchful eye, apologized to Keisha. "Ma'am, I saw a threat where there was a celebration. I'm sorry." Keisha studied him, then handed him a napkin. "Wipe the frosting off your chin, officer. Then we'll talk forgiveness." Karen Miller did not attend the resurrection. She locked her doors, drew her blinds, and Googled how to apologize to neighbor police sergeant. The internet offered no easy answers. Dawn brought the reckoning. Ryan's body cam footage leaked. Someone inside the precinct, disgusted, sent it to a blogger with 2 million followers. The video showed the aggressive entry, the slur, the unnecessary force. By 8 a.m., the mayor's office was flooded. The police union issued a statement. The NAACP demanded an independent probe. Jamal, bleary-eyed but resolute, gave his first sit-down interview to CNN from his living room couch. Aaliyah asleep on his lap, thumb in mouth. "I don't want Ryan fired," he told the anchor. "I want him trained. I want every rookie to spend a Saturday in a black family's backyard, eating cake, hearing stories. Fear shrinks when you share food." The department suspended Ryan pending review. Lopez volunteered for community outreach. Captain Rodriguez fast-tracked bias training, using Jamal's footage as the centerpiece. Karen Miller received a certified letter from the HOA. 30 days to address repeated frivolous complaints or face fines. She listed her house that afternoon at $50,000 below market. But the story refused to stay local. A GoFundMe titled Jamal's Justice Cake Fund raised $150,000 in 48 hours. Donations for a community cookout open to all. Jamal matched it from his savings. He rented the county park, hired a bounce house the size of a small moon, invited the entire precinct, the fire department, the PDA, the barbershop quartet from church. On a crisp Saturday 4 weeks later, Willow Creek's Central Green overflowed. Cops flipped burgers beside kids. Firefighters judged a pie contest. The mayor cut a ribbon on a new playground plaque in honor of Sergeant Jamal Washington for turning fear into friendship. Karen, pressured by her realtor, showed up with a store-bought apple pie and a handwritten apology on monogram stationery. Aaliyah accepted the pie, handed Karen a balloon, and said, "Red's my favorite. Don't call 911 on balloons. Okay?" The crowd laughed until tears ran. Karen cried harder. Jamal watched from the bandstand, Keisha's hand in his. Malik and Ryan, yes, Ryan, reinstated after 40 hours of mandatory empathy training, manned the grill together, trading tips on medium rare. Lopez's daughter braided Aaliyah's hair. The high school marching band played "Lift Every Voice and Sing." Someone started a Soul Train line that snaked between picnic tables. The ceremony speech was short. Jamal thanked his family, his department, even Karen. "Growth isn't comfortable," he said. "But neither is cake without frosting." Laughter rippled. Then Aaliyah tugged the microphone. "My daddy's a hero," she announced. "But don't arrest him again, okay?" The applause lasted 7 full minutes. Life settled into a new rhythm. Jamal returned to patrol, his squad car now sporting a sticker. "Celebrate, don't cuff." He mentored Ryan, who shadowed him on calls, learning to see people before uniforms. Keisha started a podcast, Backyard Stories, interviewing families about joy and justice. Tanya's follower count hit 3 million. She launched a scholarship for kids of first responders. Karen moved to a condo downtown. Her pie recipe, cribbed from Pinterest, became a running joke in the neighborhood group chat. Someone left a welcome mat on her new doorstep. "Kiss the cook." Number 911 calls. Years passed. Aaliyah, now 17, stood in a mock trial courtroom, arguing a civil rights case based on her father's story. Malik, 21, graduated the academy, his badge pinned by Jamal himself. At the ceremony, Jamal whispered, "Remember the cuffs. Let them guide you, not define you." On Jamal's 50th birthday, the backyard overflowed again. Same patio, new memories. Ryan, now a detective, brought his own kids. Lopez, retired, told war stories to wide-eyed rookies. Keisha cut a cake shaped like a police badge, chocolate, of course. Aaliyah led the toast. "To Dad," she said, "who taught us that the sweetest revenge is a shared meal." Jamal looked around, at the laughter, the lights, the love, and felt the welts from those cuffs fade completely. The grill hissed. Balloons bobbed. Somewhere, a phone rang, but no one reached for 911. They reached for seconds instead. But the final twist came quietly, 6 months later, on a Tuesday that felt ordinary until it wasn't. Jamal was on patrol, radio silent, when dispatch crackled. "All units, domestic disturbance, 1429 Maple Drive." Karen's old address. The new owners, a young Latino couple, had called about a prowler. Jamal arrived first. The prowler turned out to be Karen herself. Drunk, distraught, clutching a Tupperware of homemade red velvet. She'd come back to apologize properly. She slurred, but couldn't find the courage to knock. Jamal helped her to the porch, called her a rideshare, and accepted the cake. "You're always welcome at the table, Karen," he said. She sobbed into his shoulder. The next weekend, she showed up sober, pie in hand, and stayed for the entire cookout. Aaliyah taught her the electric slide. Malik beat her at cornhole. By sunset, Karen was laughing so hard she snorted iced tea. The following spring, the city unveiled a mural on the community center wall. Jamal in his apron, badge gleaming, surrounded by kids of every shade. The words "Celebrate, don't cuff" in bold graffiti letters. At the dedication, the mayor handed Jamal a key to the city. He promptly gave it to Aaliyah. "This belongs to the next generation," he said. "They're the ones who'll keep the party going." On the 20th anniversary of that fateful birthday, Willow Creek threw the biggest block party in county history. 3 generations of Washingtons danced under the same string lights. Ryan, gray at the temples, grilled beside Malik, now a sergeant himself. Lopez, in a wheelchair but grinning, judged the pie contest. Karen, honorary auntie, brought 3 cakes and a +1. Her new fiancé, a black social worker who'd grown up 3 streets over. Jamal stood on the same patio where cuffs once clicked, raised a glass of sweet tea, and toasted the night. 20 years ago, he said, someone tried to shut us down. Tonight, we're just getting started. Fireworks bloomed overhead, red, white, blue, and every color in between. Aaliyah, now a public defender, leaned over and whispered, "Dad, the party's never over." He kissed her forehead. "Damn right. So tell me, where are you watching from tonight? Drop your city, your state, your corner of this big, messy, beautiful country in the comments. Let's map how far one backyard's courage has traveled.